Alright, what is going on, everyone? First and foremost, I want to say thank you for being here right now, watching this video. I do really appreciate you for your time, and I would really appreciate if you do consider subscribing, because it truly does help me out a lot. Now we're going to be reacting to the full story behind, Lil Durk and Kingvon, man. The very, very tragic story, if I may say. You get what I mean? The full tragic story behind Lil Durk and Kingvon. But we already know what kind of, people Lil Durk and Kingvon are, especially Kingvon, bro. Von was a demon, always ready to do a drill. You get what I mean? No matter the time, no matter the situation. If he sees an op lacking, he's not just gonna, let the opportunity, slip right in between his hands and things like that. He's gonna take the opportunity and hop right on that situation as fast as possible. You get what I mean? But that's all I'm gonna say, man. But Lil Durk and Kingvon, they call them the evil twins for a reason. You get what I mean? Because together they get down. But without further ado, let's just play the video and see what it's talking about.
What happens when two rising stars of the hip-hop scene, who grew up together in the gritty streets of Chicago, become entangled in the rap industry's gang culture that ends in violence and tragedy? This is the heartbreaking story of Kingvon and Lil Durk, Chicago's deadliest gangsters, whose tragic lives have left a trail of tears, pain, and unanswered questions. Growing up on the streets, Lil Durk had life pretty hard for him. From struggling with the projects to dropping out of high school, Lil Durk looked for ways to make life a little easier. The rapper had no choice but to turn to street life. Lil Durk engaged in petty crimes like shoplifting, hoping to survive off that. It didn't take long before he began dealing drugs and carrying weapons. Lil Durk caught his first weapons charge in 2012, and he was taken to jail, where he served 3 months. After his time in jail, the rapper decided to turn his gang lifestyle away from the public eye and run things more subtly. It was easier for Lil Durk to move things underground, as he became a rapper shortly after his release.
My first gun case, I took a year. I was like, man, I'm gonna stay out the streets. You know what I'm saying? Just got signed. But being in Chicago, man, I don't know. Wrong place, wrong time, like I said. They found out I was on parole still.
However, the question for Lil Durk was how to keep his loyalty to the Black Disciples while maintaining his persona as an innocent rapper with no affiliation to gang crime and street life. Lil Durk decided to show his loyalty to the Black Disciples by carrying on with their beef with their rival gang members, mainly the Gangster Disciple. Lil Durk did so by dissing gangsters in their rival gangs. One of his rivals, who felt the heat of his diss tracks, was rapper FBG Duck. Before the passing of 63rd.
And I'm not gonna lie, bro. People realize that, when these rappers decide to stay in the streets, even though they have an opportunity right in between their hands, all this money, all this opportunity, they stay in the streets simply because, bro, they're rapping about their lifestyle. You get what I mean? They're really rapping about what they're living. You get what I mean? So if he's a part of the Black Disciples, rapping about drilling people, rapping about the streets and, what he's been doing in and out the streets, right? It's just like, bro, if you're paying someone to rap about their lifestyle, to not only live their lifestyle, but also rap about it, why would they stop? You get what I mean? So he took that big decision to say, hey, I'm going to stay loyal to the Black disciples and whatnot and keep on with my rap career, right? But let's keep going.
Disciple rapper FBG Duck. Lil Durk called him out and dissed him on several diss tracks like Should've Ducked and Back in Blood. On his track, Should've Ducked, Lil Durk called out FBG Duck. FBG Duck had just passed away when Lil Durk released some of these diss tracks aimed at the 63rd rapper. On August 4th, 2020, FBG Duck lost his life to the ongoing Chicago gang violence. Duck was attacked a couple of weeks after releasing a track aimed at the fallen Black disciples who had lost their lives to gang violence. T-Roy and Odie were both members of the Black Disciples who lost their lives to gangsters from the Gangster Disciple set during the gang wars. All the names he called on the tracks were members of the Black Disciples, who lost their lives to members of the Gangster Disciples during the gang war. FBG Duck's diss track sparked outrage among members of the Black Disciples, so rapper Lil Durk took it upon himself to defend the fallen disciples from the Black Disciple set. But as always, Lil Durk was very subtle in his gang dealings. According to reports from the streets of Chicago, Lil Durk hired his right-hand man, Kingvon, to arrange the elimination of FBG Duck. Being one of the deadliest gangsters in the Black Disciple set, this task wasn't difficult for Kingvon to handle. We are sure to give you quality stories straight from our inside sources on the streets of major rap cities. Just make sure to subscribe and stay tuned to Rap Hive to get first-hand information. Like Lil Durk, O-Block and Black Disciple rapper Kingvon was just as deadly and powerful. Aside from being best friends and colleagues in the rap industry, Lil Durk and Kingvon were affiliated with the same gang, which made it easier for them to work side by side when it came to gang matters and dealing with their ops from 63rd. The rivalry between the two gang sets has been ongoing for over 10 years, and it all began after a young kid from 63rd, Shondell Gregory, also known as Tuka, was murdered on the streets of Chicago by an O-Block gangster. It, however, went mainstream after many of these kids involved in the gang violence grew up to become rappers who shared their stories through their music. One of the rappers who capitalized his music on dissing dead ops was FBG Duck. After releasing the track Dead, where he called out fallen Black Disciples, the gangsters on O-Block knew that they had to act on it, and rappers Lil Durk and Kingvon took it upon themselves to avenge their gang. It was about 4:30 p.m. on August 4th, 2020, when the attack on FBG Duck's life happened at the Dolce & Gabbana store, 68 East Oak Street. The rapper had gone out shopping at the designer store in a high-end street in Chicago, where he shared an Instagram post showing his location.
Now, first and foremost, they pretty much detail a 15 minutes of chaotic scene where basically FBG Duck, he goes to like this opulent area. Okay, it's this rich part of Chicago. It's called like the Gold Coast, right? He goes shopping for his son. Now, he goes shopping for his son and apparently goes with his girlfriend and some other person, I think, too. Hops out the car and he's waiting online. All right, well, first big mistake. You shouldn't be waiting online when you got so much people. I get it.
Insiders from O-Block revealed that as soon as FBG Duck shared his location, the block got rowdy, with gangsters screaming and chanting as 5 men hopped into 2 different vehicles as they made their way to FBG Duck's location to carry out the hit on his life.
The police say simultaneously, as soon as Duck gets online, this surveillance footage, like a minute later, tracks in the surveillance footage from O-Block, tracks a bunch of dudes running down the stairs like wild hyenas to 2 cars outside. Basically, they were running down to the cars to go pull up on FBG Duck. So FBG Duck is waiting online, okay? Instantly, and you gotta say, somebody made a call, right? Duh, like, I mean, they don't have access to cameras. How do they know that Duck was there? Somebody made a call. Now, they hop in 2 cars. One's a Chrysler, one's a Ford Fusion.
FBG Duck was shopping with his baby mama, as their son's birthday was just about a week away. They were just making their way out of the store when 2 men jumped out of a Chrysler and opened fire at FBG Duck, hitting him 21 times with neck, torso, and groin injuries. FBG Duck's baby mama and some passerby were also hit during the attack. The assassins managed to escape from the scene as police approached to help the victims. FBG Duck was taken to a hospital where he later succumbed to injuries he sustained during the attack. Rappers Lil Durk and FBG Duck were suspected of having carried out the hit on FBG Duck's life to defend their block. But not everyone believed this until the FBI revealed that they had an informant who told them that Lil Durk and Kingvon were most likely behind the incident. According to this informant, a famous rapper affiliated with the Black Disciples put up a bounty on FBG Duck's head shortly after he released the track, Dead. The Black Disciple rapper offered to pay a sum of $50,000 to anyone who was able to take out FBG Duck. However, when no one picked up the bounty, the rapper increased the offer to $100,000.
Don't ask me what the price is, man. It ain't going down yet. You want $1. $1.05?
At the time, the name of the person involved was not revealed, but the informant didn't fail to mention the most crucial part of his testimony. He revealed to the FBI that they were in fact 2 Chicago rappers who were involved in the elimination of FBG Duck. While one offered hundreds of thousands of dollars, the other rapper made custom-made O-Block jewelry for certain members of the Black Disciple set.
5 members of the O-Block Street Gang, a faction of the Black Disciples, arrested and federally charged with committing murder in aid of racketeering. Charles Liggins, Kenneth Robertson, to Carlos Alford, Christopher Thomas, and Marcus Smart, all residents of Chicago.
The year after, 5 men who were O Block members were arrested for the murder of FPG Duck. The men, Charles Liggins, also known as C. Murder, Kenneth Robertson, also known as Kenny, and Kenny Mac, to Carlos Alford, also known as Los, Christopher Thomas, also known as C-Thang, 22, and Marcus Smart, also known as Muwap, were all charged with the murder in aid of racketeering and federal firearms violations and assaults in aid of racketeering. Both Muwap and C. Murder were rappers known to be affiliated with Lil Durk's Only the Family label.
But then I called the number back and he was like, blah, blah, blah. We just want to inform you that, and these were his exact words. We just want to inform you that we have arrested the men who assassinated your son. And it was like something in me was like, what?
According to the authorities, these men arrested and charged with FPG Duck's assassination are all members of O Block and the Black Disciples gang, who had publicly claimed responsibility for acts of violence across Chicago. The authorities also claimed that a number of them used social media and music to increase their criminal enterprise. When the FBI examined data for Muwap, C. Murder, and C-Thang's cell phones, it was shocking that they discovered.
I'm not gonna lie, bro. This is absolutely insane. I thought just kingvon was a straight demon. You get what I mean? He was a straight demon. He was ready to do anything for Lil Durk, right? Because Lil Durk put him on things like that, and it's just like kingvon was already a demon before and after he started actually rapping. You get what I mean? But like, bro, turns out Lil Durk is an absolute demon as well. I see why they call him the evil twins, bro. Like, why is Lil Durk not in prison? And I remember when the whole FBG Duck trial, everything was trending about that situation, right? Everybody was going crazy talking about the FBG Duck trial, bro. Everybody was connecting dots and mentioning kingvon and Lil Durk to the entire situation the whole entire time, bro. Like, you get what I mean? They like Lil Durk and kingvon were getting mentioned so many times. Like, I couldn't even, like, I lost count, bro. But just know, bro, these are two absolute demons, and I don't even know why they're not in jail. Maybe because they have a big negative influence when it comes to rap, and they're big rappers and things like that. I don't know, man. But at the end of the day, this is absolutely insane, bro. Like, bro, I don't even know what to say, bro. Like, these are serial killers, bro. Like, there ain't no way, man.
Conversations with rapper kingvon about the custom-made chains.
C. Murder.
Okay.
Yeah.
And both of these on one?
19 to 2010.
Okay.
Born date, yeah.
And this is on one pendant?
Yeah, 1922.
Okay. The curve is better.
I'm cool with that.
And then you just, how do you spell this? C-H?
C-H-E-N-O. Oh, right here.
So right here, Ivan, we're just adding C-H-E-N-O. Who all got rules gold?
According to the FBI affidavit, kingvon discussed jewelry designs for some members of the Only the Family crew members, including Muwap and C. Murder. With the evidence from the authorities, it's pretty challenging to determine whether kingvon was telling the truth about his relationship with FPG Duck shortly after Duck passed. Kingvon claimed that he and FPG Duck had settled their differences and genuinely discussed coming together for the better. Kingvon took to his Twitter and said, "Me and Duck settled our differences before he passed. He was talking about bringing everybody together as a whole and changing the community for the better. I'ma still stands on that, even though you diss my dead homies and family." The assassination of FPG Duck wasn't the only time kingvon showed how much of a gangster he was. He was publicly accused of taking the lives of over 5 people, including gangster disciples Jakira Barnes, also known as K.I., Richard Modell, Derek Johnson, aka P5, Rodney Stewart, aka Boss Trail, and Malcolm Stuckey. All of these people were members of the Gangster Disciples set on 63rd.
They want to know if you do a feature with Modell, P5, Malcolm. You know them? Nah. Alright, never mind. He already told us about Tuka. He said Tuka one of his favorites to work with. They want to know about the Gleesh Place video.
Oh, Gleesh Place coming soon. And I do a feature with all of them niggas.
All of these hits were mere speculations until the authorities revealed that kingvon was the person who pulled the trigger on Jakira Barnes, the most notorious hitter from the Gangsta Disciples set on 63rd.
I'm not gonna lie, that was mad hilarious, bro. I gotta rewind that.
people were members of the Gangsta Disciples set on 63rd.
They want to know if you do a feature with Modell, P5, Malcolm. You know them? Nah. Alright, never mind. He already told us about Tuka. He said Tuka one of his favorites to work with. They want to know about the Gleesh Place video.
Oh, Gleesh Place coming soon. And I do a feature with all them niggas.
All of these hits were mere speculations until the authorities revealed that Kingvon was the person who pulled the trigger on Jakira Barnes, the most notorious hitter from the Gangsta Disciples set on 63rd. 63rd's most notorious hitter, Jakira Barnes, was only 17 when she was gunned down on the streets of Chicago on the 11th of April, 2014.
Jakira Barnes died last month in April. She was 17 years old. She was killed in the Woodlawn neighborhood in a shooting, and she was shot multiple times. And so the police thought that she was targeted, that she was assassinated, essentially.
Before she passed away, Jakira was rumored to have been behind the assassination of a couple of people, mostly gangsters affiliated with the Black Disciple set of O-Block, like the infamous Odie Perry, who O-Block is named after. She was also rumored to have ended the lives of J Money and Sharoyd, who were members of the Black Disciples and friends with Kingvon and Lil Durk.
On the street, which was a shooter or a hitter or an assassin. She was known to her rivals as somebody who was willing to shoot first, ask questions later. It's all over the internet. In fact, on her own Twitter site, she called herself Taekwon Assassin. Taekwon was a friend of hers who was killed, and she vowed to avenge his death. So female shooters and gangs are...
The bullet from Kingvon's weapon allegedly ended the life of the notorious Jakira Barnes. Before he was taken out on the streets of Atlanta, Kingvon was rumored to have ended the life of Jakira, but he was often defended by the public proof of the brewing online romance he shared with Jakira when they were alive. Before turning to life on the streets, Jakira Barnes was a promising teenager with good grades. Her best friend revealed in a documentary that she dreamed of attending college after high school, but all that changed when she got mixed up with the gangsters in 63rd.
Her mom said she was a smart kid. She was kind of shy, even timid, some people said. I talked to people at the school who said it took a while for her to warm up to her classmates and to her teachers, but she had some initial discipline problems at the beginning, and she got suspended. But after that, she was a good student, they said. So she graduated her 8th grade at Perspectives IIT Math and Science Academy. She went back there for her freshman year, and things did not work out. She had a really spotty attendance record. And the next thing you know, according to her mother, she was arrested for shooting a gun.
Being a gangster, Jakira was introduced to all sorts of street dangers, including engaging in crossfires with her ops from other blocks. This is how she met with Black Disciples gangster and rapper Kingvon.
Was a suspect in 3 to 5 shootings. One of those was a murder. I talked to other sources who are closer to the streets, and those people say that she was thought to have committed at least 15 shootings. Either way you cut it.
Kingvon and Jakira never hid their feelings for each other. But while Kingvon wanted Jakira to abandon the gangster life, Jakira only lived for the streets. From sending flirty texts on Twitter to sending death threats to each other, Jakira and Kingvon did it all. In a tweet posted to Kingvon's account, the rapper wrote, "At Taekwon Assassin, good afternoon, wifey." To which KI responded, "At Kingvon from the Wick, LOL, pound funny, what up, dude?" Kingvon replied to KI's tweet saying, "At Taekwon."
I'm not gonna lie, we all know Kingvon was pretty much trolling, you get what I mean? I'm pretty sure Kingvon was basically trolling, trying to make it seem like he wanted to actually date and meet up with Taekwon Assassin, that's her name, or Twitter name or whatnot, I don't know, bro, but you pretty much get the idea. He was pretty much he pretty much wanted to meet up with her and act like, oh, I like you and things like that. And I don't think she really fell for it. I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, man, that was the whole point, bro. Kingvon just wanted, you know, to drill her, bro. You get what I mean? And I'm not talking about, and there's 2 different kind of drills. You get what I mean? And I'm not talking about, you know, the one that you do in bed. I'm talking about bro wanted her gone permanently. But without further ado, let's just keep playing the video.
LOL, I'm missing you. I be having you on my mind a lot, on David. But despite having such a heartwarming relationship, Kingvon and Jakira never shied away from the chance to hurt each other. They once met on a train where they got involved in a fight. After the fight, Kingvon wrote on Twitter, "I'll get whooped on the train, lackey. Think about it." To which KI replied in a tweet, "My arm up my ear, and I got a bruise on my face. Ain't got but a bruise on my face, but ain't tripping that 40 cal, but a hole in that opera's face. Kingvon and Jakira continued to go back and forth on Twitter until K.I. did something that Kingvon could never forgive. After Kingvon was arrested for taking out Boss Trail in 2012, he returned from prison to find out that Jakira had taken out 2 of his homies. On the day he got out, Kingvon tweeted, "A Taekwondo assassin, what's up, ma? You don't miss her?" K.I. responded in a tweet saying, "Hey, Kingvon from the Wick, what up, my boy? When we linking?" alongside gun emojis. Kingvon replied saying, "LOL, what's with the guns? And on BD, you said you was gonna come see me if I get booked. What happened?" K.I. replied to his tweet saying, "How would it feel to lose your homie while you behind them bars during that time?" To which Kingvon responded by tweeting RIP to his fallen homies, P-Crack and J Money, who K.I. eliminated to get vengeance on Kingvon. After this incident, K.I. and Kingvon stopped being friendly until she was taken out in 2014. According to recent reports from the Chicago Police Department, they believe that Kingvon was the person who pulled the trigger on Jakira as she made her way to a party with her friend FBG Butter. Although Jakira lost her life in the incident, FBG Butter sustained some bullet wounds and survived. The authorities recently claimed that Kingvon was the alleged hit, and as they stated in the document, an unknown M1 wearing a gray hoodie and blue jeans approached the victims. The unknown offender then produced a handgun and began firing in the direction of the victims, striking all 3. The authorities further claimed that Kingvon wasn't arrested at the time due to lack of evidence. However, FBG Butter has claimed that it wasn't Kingvon who opened fire at him on that fateful day. And even the authorities know it.
Man, what I know is, on my dead, find and kill guy. Period. That, and I ain't saying that.
Bro, either way, bro, he's not gonna tell who did it, bro. Even if he says Vaughn didn't do it, bro. If you know Vaughn didn't do it, you clearly saw the face of who did it, right? You clearly saw the face clearly of who did it, because you can say, hey, Vaughn didn't do it. So you clearly know who did it, bro, but you don't want to snitch. So if you don't want to snitch and tell us who did it, bro, we're automatically gonna think, hey, you know, you're not gonna snitch on Vaughn and things like that. Yeah, Vaughn was the one to do it. That's what the people are gonna think, because clearly you saw the person who did it, and you don't want to snitch and tell who was the one to actually do the hit. You get what I mean? But yeah, man.
Fawn didn't kill Kyra. I got shot too. I was right there. I got shot too.
He claimed in an interview that after the incident, the homicide unit approached him and asked him if he could identify the hitman.
Only reason wasn't no charges pursued on Vaughn, because when homicide came to me, I'm a live victim. They get that, hey, is this the person who shot you? And once I saw who they brought to the pit, no. Hell no. And I ain't just say that because, oh man, you know, it's supposed to be your Tino.
Although he claimed he knew the person, he just couldn't snitch and speak on it.
I saw the who popped us. He did. On 1st grade. And it was some grown in A-ski on 1st grade. V-Roy ain't to do with that shit, folks. That shit a facade, but you gotta think about it though. Vaughn took credit for a lot of murders in real life. He said he did a lot of shit.
According to FBG Butter, the person who identified the shooter immediately after the incident was a girl who was also present at the scene. She identified the victim and pointed at him when the police showed her picture.
In real life, it wasn't him, because it was out there too who she told. She know who it was. She saw who it was. She told the homicide detectives who it was. You see what I'm saying? But don't nobody speak of her. Her name not even in the paperwork. When Lil B Gravy, she sat in the station, she did all that. She pointed about in the lineup, all that. And motherfucker don't speak.
Butter claimed that he kept his silence, and the person who carried out the hit has since been assassinated on the streets of Chicago. Lil Durk and Kingvon may have grown up together and lost most of their homies, but the two started facing tragedy together in 2019 when they allegedly attempted to murder a man on February 15th, 2019. The rappers were making a deal in the parking lot of the Varsity in Atlanta with a man who has come to be identified as Alexander Witherspoon. However, things didn't go as planned, as a crossfire ensued while the deal was going on. Alexander Witherspoon sustained a bullet wound to the leg during the crossfire as his Jeep Cherokee and $30,000 in cash were stolen from him. Rappers Lil Durk and kingvon managed to escape from the scene unhurt, but surveillance footage captured the rappers on the scene.
Jovita, APD says they used at least 5 cameras from local businesses, including this BP, as well as from the Varsity across the street in order to build their case against Lil Durk and his co-defendant. On Friday, detectives from Atlanta and Chicago testified in the criminal case against rapper Lil Durk in Fulton County Court. They say around 5 in the morning on February 5th, Lil Durk, whose real name is Dirk Derek Banks, and his co-defendant Devontae Bennett were seen on camera.
Alexander Witherspoon decided to press charges, and after further investigation, a warrant was put up for kingvon and Lil Durk's arrest. Lil Durk turned himself into the authorities.
By a convicted felon. Today, his attorneys told us that both they and the rapper learned of these charges about a day or so ago. They also told us that he is currently on tour, at least he was until yesterday. They say they are hoping that he will be granted bond.
While kingvon was arrested for not turning himself in. Lil Durk and kingvon were both charged with attempted murder, as the prosecutors claimed that they were the ones who fired the weapon at Alexander Witherspoon and made away with his personal effects. When the tragic incident happened, Lil Durk and kingvon fans believed they would get locked up for a long time for their crimes.
I work with some of Durk's producers, and the rumors, the conversation within his camp was that Durk might get washed for this, and that was that was a narrative when it happened for a long time. People were very concerned that were close to him that he was going to get caught up for this. So I agree. It's glad that he doesn't need to have this hanging over his head in the midst of all this success.
But the rappers could scale through with good lawyers on their side. According to their attorneys, Alexander Witherspoon, who claimed to be the victim, was the aggressor, as he threatened the rappers with his gun before anybody else pulled out a weapon. They added that the attorneys further stated that although they may have pulled out their weapons in self-defense, Alexander Witherspoon was not hurt by the bullets fired from the rapper's guns. Lil Durk claimed in several interviews that he did not fire a weapon at Alexander Witherspoon.
You're about to surrender as we speak.
Yeah.
How come?
Because I have nothing to add. I have nothing to run from.
Did you do it? Did you shoot this man? Did you commit the other crimes of which you're accused?
On October 22nd, 2022, Lil Durk gained his freedom again when the murder charges were dropped due to prosecutorial discretion. Would kingvon and Lil Durk have continued to carry out gang dealings if kingvon was still alive?
But yeah, man, that is the end of the video. I'm gonna just end this video here anyway. Don't want it to be too long, but you guys pretty much get the idea, man. Kingvon and Lil Durk were the evil twins. You get what I mean? Anything they did, they pretty much did it together. Especially after, Kingvon was signed to Lil Durk and Lil Durk put Kingvon on, things like that. They pretty much became the evil twins, the dynamic duo. Pretty much started doing drills together, things like that. But way before that, bro, when Kingvon was solo, he was a straight demon. Either way, he was a straight demon. He was willing to do whatever it takes to take out someone he doesn't like out. You get what I mean? But yeah, man, if he catches you lacking, that's the end for you, man. But without further ado, though, let me know what you guys think about all of this down in the comment section. And subscribe for more content. Peace out.